Hello everyone, I'm not going to go into the pros and cons of self-publishing versus traditional publishing today, but I did want to let you guys know the reasons why I decided to self-publish my debut novel, The Elysian Prophecy. You've heard me say it before, but I wanted to be a writer my entire life. From that fateful day when I realized that writing was an actual profession, I've dreamed of making a living telling stories. But there was something that was holding me back. I thought publishing a novel was really difficult, and instead of motivating me to overcome that challenge, I just focused on my other passions, ones that were a little easier to attain. The whole process of querying, seeking an agent, and a publisher, all of these things were just a little too daunting for me. So I kind of just labeled my writing as a passion, and I just dreamed of a day that I would get lucky enough to be published. So I felt this way up until a few years ago, until I actually learned what self-publishing was. I had heard of it before, but I kind of still dreamt and held out for landing this huge publishing deal. But the topic kind of kept popping up, and I kept hearing of more and more people that were actually making a living off of self-publishing their novels. All of a sudden, I realized that traditionally publishing wasn't really the only way to get your novel out there. Yeah, I'm a little late to the table. I know. Hopefully there's some scraps left over for me. Not only that, but these people get a higher royalty rate off of their self-published books than they would get with traditionally publishing their book. I didn't have to wait to get lucky in the publishing world. I could do it right now and say I'm an author. Fast forward a year later, which is today, and I'm well on my way to not only publishing my novel, but publishing it well. I stopped to take the time to market myself as a writer and to get the word out about my book. I'm making sure that my book is the best that it can be before I put it out into the world, cover, editing, layout, everything, including doing more research, learning every day, writing every day, making this YouTube channel, which I was very nervous about in the beginning, and I'm still nervous about sometimes. So these are reasons why self-publishing finally decided that I was right for it, and not the other way around. Number one, I'm in control. I'm a control freak. There, I said it. And I'd bet money that a lot of successful self-publishers are also control freaks, or type A, whatever you want to call it. It's both a blessing and it's a curse, but it's a switch I cannot turn off. Before, I thought that putting your novel into somebody else's hands was the only way to go. I neither hated that fact nor liked it. Having someone else highly recommend that you change something in your novel, or deciding what cover was right for it, was just something that you had to do if you wanted to get published. They were the experts, they had done this before, and I would just have to suck it up and play the game. And then the Hallelujah chorus started. Cue music. Once I realized that self-publishing put all of this back into my hands, I really started to like it. If my writing doesn't exactly fit what's trending right now, or crosses genres a little too much, it's up to me if I want to keep it that way. Yes, this means I have to research my industry and what's trending right now, but I kind of already do that because I read every day. If I'm passionate about the story, then chances are that somebody else is as well. Just because leopard print isn't as popular as it once was, doesn't mean that nobody likes it. Yes, I really did just use leopard print to get my point across. Something else that fascinated me about being in control was the cover. I'm so freaking excited to design my own cover. No, I'm not designing it, but I get to decide what I want it to look like. Yeah, it's kind of scary sometimes, but it makes me feel like the sky is the limit. Since I have more creative freedom with every aspect of my novel, it makes me feel like I'm more creative when I'm actually writing my novel. Reason number two. It's not about the money. Just kidding, it is if you want to make a full-time living. No, I'm not doing it all for the money, but if I'm doing something that I'm passionate about and I'm making a living off of it, that's a win. Rocky is like trying to kill me right now. Is it really hard to earn a living as a writer? Yeah, Kira says it is, definitely. Do a Google search online for how many copies the average book sells, and you'll probably get something like 100 to 1,000 copies. Not in 1 month, like ever. The truth is that no one really knows the number, but it kind of looks a little bleak. Kira's just gonna watch you guys watch me right now, so if her piercing eyes disturb you, I'm sorry. She's looking away for your benefit. So that means that it's bleak for traditionally published novels and for self-published novels. Probably more leaning towards one side, but you get the point. Let's talk some numbers. The average royalty from a big publishing firm tends to be about 8% to 15%, depending on how well they think your novel's gonna do and what format it's selling in. So if you publish an ebook through Amazon with their 70% royalty option, it's actually more like 65% after you take in the delivery charges. So if a big publisher sells one of your ebooks for $9.99, which seems to be a typical ebook price for big publishers, if you get, say, a 10% royalty rate, you're only making 99 cents. If you sell your ebook through Amazon for $3.99, you'll get about $2.59. That's kind of a lot more. You're getting 3 times the royalty and your book is half the price. Everyone wins. Even if you get a higher royalty rate of, say, 15%, you'll still only get about $1.49, almost half of what you would get with self-publishing. So if you're a traditionally published author and you have better royalty rates than what I found, feel free to correct me down below. In any case, that's not a lot. Sure, the publisher might have farther reach when it comes to marketing, but I don't like those numbers. A traditional publisher at this time anyway charges more for your book, but you get less money for it. That doesn't really make sense to me. Reason number 3, freedom to change the price. This kind of goes hand in hand with being in control, but I think it should be given extra attention. A lot hinges on not just the marketing of your book, but of yourself. You are allowed to set, adjust, modify whatever you want the price of your book whenever you want. Something that I read about but really only saw in practice when I started my YouTube channel is the power of a backlog. So if you read a book by an author you've never heard of before and you really like it, chances are you're going to go online to their website to see what else they've written. If they have no other novels, then this is kind of a missed opportunity to make another sale. If they do have other novels, then there is a slight chance that that person will purchase one of your other books. It's not 100%, but it's better chances than if there wasn't another book there at all. So you find that there's a trickle down to the other novels that that author has written. I actually saw this with my YouTube channel once I got about 20 videos published. Suddenly my views were spiking and my subscriber rate was increasing. And it's all because I have a backlog now. Because if you watch a video and you like it, you go to that person's channel and you check out all their other videos. Same thing. Reader might also purchase your novel when it's on sale because it's less of a risk to them. If they don't know you, they're not going to know whether or not they like your writing. But if you reel them in with that sale and they like that novel, then there's a chance that they'll buy your other novels as well, ones that might not be on sale. And having the ability to set your own price opens the door for all of this to happen. Number 4, I own everything. That's right, everything. If I want to have an audiobook made, I can do it. If I want that audiobook to be performed by a male or a female, or a young adult, or a senior citizen, I can do it. If I want my novel translated into Spanish, I have the right to do that. If I want to sell movie rights, I can do that too. That is if any fish are biting. Wouldn't that be awesome? I'm very much like Veruca Salt sometimes, and this is one thing that her and I definitely have in common. I want it all, especially if I'm the one that created it. Along these lines, I also own the right to not sell my book. By that, I mean that it's up to me to market properly and ensure that it does sell well. While my entire video up until now might seem like I would never consider traditional publishing, that's just not true. Traditional publishers have something that I don't: connections and massive amount of money and manpower. They can spend thousands promoting a book before it's even released, and that's just not something I can really do. Collectively, one publishing firm has far more knowledge and reach in marketing that I could ever dream to have by myself. For those reasons alone, I would consider traditional publishing. But for me, I like the reasons for self-publishing as opposed to traditional publishing. Yes, I'll miss the marketing advantage, but I'm doing this all by myself. If I hit it big, then I know it was all me. If I don't, well then I hope I learned something. Number 5, I get to choose my own deadlines. This can be both a good thing and a bad thing for some people. For the majority of the time, it's a good thing for me. Side note, I am one of those people that works better with a deadline. I'm an engineer after all. If you give me 3 months to do something, I'm gonna wait until the last week to do it. My work is better during that time and I'm far more productive. But things get in the way. So since my deadlines aren't hard deadlines, I don't have to stress out about not making them. To me, avoiding that stress is better than freaking out trying to reach that goal. To me, avoiding that stress is far better than freaking out to reach that deadline. I'm still working toward them, but if I'm out sick for a week, whoa, speaking of getting sick, that was weird. Or if I have to work a bunch of overtime at work, it's not gonna kill me. In other words, I don't wanna stress myself out about something that I enjoy. Writing a book can be inherently stressful, but pulling out your hair just isn't necessary. If I had a deadline given to me by a publisher, I would probably be an itchy and crazy mess. I break out in hives when I'm really stressed. It's not fun. So I've had to learn to progressively chip away at my goals instead of trying to do them all at one time. This has been an exercise for me, but it's actually benefited other aspects of my life. It makes me look better at work because I'm not waiting to the last minute to do everything, which if you needed it in 4 days, just say you need it in 4 days. I'll do it. Even though I work better with deadlines, I've chosen to avoid the stress and do it in my own way. Does this mean I might not get my novel published as fast? Yes, but it's not a race. I'm not in a rush. I'm still marketing myself and I'm still gonna be an author one day. All right, so there's obvious negative reasons for going into self-publishing. I can go into that in a later video. Just let me know if that's something that you guys want to see. It's important to always do your own research though. I can't even count the amount of research I've done on this topic before I decided which one I wanted to do. Since I get obsessive, it was a lot. These are the reasons that self-publishing was a good fit for me, but it might not be a good fit for you. Your situation might be different. You might choose one or the other, or you might choose both. You might do one first and then the other, or you might be a hybrid. There's a lot of options. All right, so that's all I have for you guys today. Feel free to check out some of my sneak peek chapters down below for my debut novel, The Elysian Prophecy. Subscribe to my channel if you already haven't, because I post new writing videos every Wednesday. And if you ever have any questions about writing, or if you want to suggest a new video, go ahead and just leave a comment down below. Bye, guys. He brought you guys a ball. He wants you guys to throw it. Stay. Okay. Ah, ew, gross. Slobber. Can you get out of frame, you little turd? You. Ah! I knew you were gonna do that. Oh! Look how cute she is. Look how cute. Yeah, did that smell like your toenails? Because it's probably lodged in my shoulder now.